you're doing things consistently. You're doing things consistently. You're putting the time, the effort, only to have the course or event sit in a folder and never see the light of day again. Well, today I want to discuss different ways to address that directly and to give you some ideas that's possible. So, first of all, if you're joining us on Canira, go ahead and leave a message right there in the chat. Let me know that you're in, that you're watching, that you're paying attention. If this is your first time at a build session, welcome. The build sessions are pretty much designed to get in and to share with you what we do and how we do it and give you an insider look of Canira, and it allows you to build within the platform and do it on your own. So this is what we're going to be talking about today: how, as a course creator, how to stop your course from dying after the course has been done live. So today I'm going to show you what it looks like when one live session never stops working. All right. So this is the deal. What are you currently building? Okay. What tools are you using right now to run your live sessions? And drop it in the chat. What tools are you currently using to run your live session? Okay, put it in the chat. That's important. And the reason I'm asking you that question is because a lot of times we're using multiple tools, and these tools can be a challenge. So today I want to give you some tools and some solutions on how to use one tool and position you so that you can do it. I'm going to go ahead and send a link right now. Hold on for 1 second. Bear with me, those who are watching. We've got late registrants coming in. Want to make sure they get the link to join us in this live build. So I'm gonna go to the Canira website real quick. Bear with me. We don't want to leave anyone out of this build session. For those who are actively building, we want to make sure that they. So as we have identified just a few of the great builders who are joining us today, just know that the building. So as we have identified just a few of the great builders who are joining us today, just know that the building is not easy, but it's necessary. And what separates a builder from a consumer is always waiting till everything is perfect and doing their research, while a builder just takes the first step and pray that the next step will appear when you need it the most. Okay. So I love seeing builders. I love seeing this. And remember the cost, count the cost before you build anything. Okay. Count the cost, because there's some things that you need to know up front so that you don't quit in the middle of your build sessions. Okay. The way you build it out. Let me bring my chair up a little here. Okay. Much better. So listen, you're a builder, not a user. And because you're not here to watch a demo, you're here to build something real. These aren't webinars. These are build sessions. No theory, no slides, full of bullets, none of that. We build live, okay? So just know that. We build live. Last week, we built a signature masterclass. We took one talk, one message, and we created something great out of it, something where others could use and repurpose. And some people who joined us, they were cold, but they knew what they wanted, and we allowed them to grow within the actual session. And we are able to turn it into a complete system. A live class people registered for. I turned it into clips, posts, and email sequences, a podcast even, and a page that keeps selling after we log off. One session, 6 assets, built once. But a few of you asked me a very good question afterward. They said, Shante, that's great, but who's going to show up? Who's going to show up? That's very important, right? I think so. And that's what we're fixing today. Who's going to show up? Here's what we're building today. A lead magnet. Yeah. A free resource so good that the right person will gladly trade their email for it. A page that captures them and a system that delivers it automatically the second they say yes. And by the end of this session, you'll have a live asset that builds your list while you sleep. So let's build. All right, I'm going to go ahead before I open Canira. I want to give you the lesson underneath today's build, because most people they're chasing the wrong thing. You don't need an audience. You need an asset that attracts one. Make sense? All right. It's not the audience, but you need an asset that attracts one. Because if we unpack this, everybody's trying to get followers. Followers are rented. You don't own them. The algorithms decide who see you, but a list is yours. You can reach those people tomorrow, next month, next year, with nobody's permission. Rented reach can be taken, and owned lists cannot. So that's the difference between owning and renting. So we want to make sure that you actually get one, an owned list. And how do you get an actual one? Not by begging people to subscribe. You give them something worth trading an email for. Make sense? Because that's what you're asking for. And here's the mistake almost everyone makes. A good lead magnet, it doesn't give them information. It gives them a result. Nobody wants another PDF to add to the pile. They want one problem solved and fast. And I had to learn that the hard way. So trust me when I tell you this is from example. So the test for what you build today is simple. What is the smallest, fastest win I can hand someone in the next 10 minutes. Information versus results. Come on. That's what it's all about. How do we get you to the fact that you can have results? So I'm going to look in the chat and I want to ask this. What's the one problem you solve best? Don't be shy. This is an interactive build. What's the one problem that you solve best? Okay, I see you. You help people get clarity and find their why. That's good. You help people automate AI. That's always excellent, especially in this season. Well, let's go ahead and open up CanIra. And I'm not hiding anything. So you need to watch every click. Nothing is pre-baked. We built this together right now. And the first step is the anchor. So let's go ahead and get into the build. Let me open up CanIra and give you the first anchor of this amazing build. Is that okay? Excellent. Let's go. So for those of you who are watching, go ahead and make sure that you like and you share who are watching on social media. While I go in and open up CanIra, I want to make sure that everything is correct on the screen for you, so you're seeing the right information. And as I open it up, we're going to go to canira.io. If you'd like to join me in this build, go to canira.io. I got these glasses, and some of them, these glasses are good for certain things, but I need to take them off. All right, there we go. So we're at canira.io. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you right now so you can see what I'm seeing. Okay, now my screen is shared. And by the way, I want to thank you for being here today. You could have been anywhere else. I'm only going to keep you for about 45 minutes. And once that 45 minutes is up, it's up. All right. So here we are at canira.io. And the first thing you want to do is log in. And as you log in, it will take you here to the dashboard. And once you're at the dashboard, you have a lot of options. But the main thing is we want to build the anchor, okay? Because we're really all about building a solid foundation. And everything and every single build starts here in the anchor, not with a tool, but with clarity.
Ever feel like AI is just too complicated?
What if it didn't have to be?
At the Smart AI Workshop, we make artificial intelligence simple, hands-on, and human-centered.
No lectures, just real learning, real tools, real transformation.
Every learner here is unlocking AI through interaction, visualization, and guided exploration.
Welcome to the build session, and today we will be is then built on. That's a pretty great feature. Or I can go side by side if I want to. I can switch the positions depending on which way I want to be. I can do focus. So as we have identify just a few of the great builders who are joining us today, just know that the building is not easy, but it's necessary. And what separates a builder from a consumer is a consumer is always waiting till everything is perfect and doing their research, while a builder just takes the first step and pray that the next step will appear when you need it the most. Okay. So I love seeing builders. I love seeing this. And remember, the cost, count the cost before you build anything. Okay. Count the cost, because there's some things that you need to know up front so that you don't quit in the middle of your build sessions. Okay. The way you build it out. Let me bring my chair up a little here. Okay. Much better. So listen, you're a builder, not a user. And because you're not here to watch a demo, you're here to build something. Continue this participating in this. Again, it's too late. So let me go online real quick just to take a look, and then we're going to get into this quick conversation about how to create your own media infrastructure for busy entrepreneurs. Is that okay? Is that okay? Awesome. I'm glad that you've joined me. This is going to be a quick training, nothing major, but hopefully you'll get a lot of value out of it. So let me go on and see who is broadcasting and what station I'm broadcasting on. If not, we're gonna start from scratch, and I'm gonna jump back in to make sure everybody can participate. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna end and I'm going to jump back in. All right, we're gonna end it and we're gonna jump back in real quick. All right, so bear with me. Here I come. I'll be right back. So what I decided to do was challenge myself. And the challenge was I wanted to get back into the coding aspects of it. So I took a class on vibe coding, using AI to write code to build softwares. And I came up with a few ideas of the things that I would like to build. And the first one was just a webinar platform, something that I can host my own webinars on. And I began coding on different AI assistant platforms, and I ran into a lot of different problems. One problem was one night while I was in deep in coding, 1 a.m., something happened. I mean, the money that I was paying for the tokens ran out, and because it ran out, it dropped me down. The assistant dropped me down to a lower model that was trained on lesser data, and it ended up rewriting a week's worth of work, and it disappeared. Yeah, it was gone. It disappeared, and I was devastated. And everything in my mind that night was telling me to go to bed. Have you ever been in a place where you were just pushing yourself and you was chunking it and you were like, I can get this done, because you were so dialed in, although you were tired and no one was up and the lights were dim all over the house, but you were the only one up, and yet you kept pushing, knowing that you should have been in bed. Well, that was me that evening, and a whole week's of work disappeared. I was devastated. The only thing I could do was look at the computer screen